guys, welcome to my channel. I am Shanna. Okay guys, so from the intro you'll know that I'm filming a little Missguided get ready with me. I just got some of the products I wanted to try out, and yeah, I'm not gonna scare you guys too long with my really bad skin scarring, but yeah, let's get into the video. I forgot my head tie on just to keep my edges sort of laid. When I take this off you'll realise that my braids did taken out, but I just haven't got the energy to take them out yet. I feel like because we're in lockdown and I'm working from home as well, it's just so easy to wake up and have braids in. And if you get like a last minute like call or anything, you can just turn on your camera and not feel like shit, I need to do my hair. So yeah, I do need to take these out, but we're working with them. And also non-existent eyebrows from me, so I'm not going to keep you guys any much longer. I'm just going to get into the video. To start with, I'm going to use Gimme Brow by Benefit. I just find that it makes my brows look better because I use less product when I go to actually draw them on. And I don't know about anybody else, but does anyone else have non-existent eyebrows? Because I do, and it's not a good time sometimes, really. I feel like I don't look put together if I don't draw my eyebrows on. Do you know what I mean? And just to start, I'm going to use this pen from just MUA. They're really cheap and nice for like when you're not actually going anywhere. When I'm going somewhere, I'll use Benefit. The camera really isn't focusing like at all, which is annoying. And then I've got the Missguided brow pen in the darkest shade. It is super dark. And so I'm going to use this pen on the outside of my brow, and then I'm going to use the Missguided one at the start of my brow. So like now this is sort of like framed out, I will probably go back in with that pencil after. I'm just gonna use the Missguided pen at the start of my brows, and I just sort of like flick it up. It's really good to create the look of like actual hairs, which is why I like it. Okay, so now my eyebrows look very, very dark. But I feel like it's just the lights and the cameras and I feel like it's just the lighting that is making it look really dark, but it's really not that dark, if I'm honest. I'm gonna go underneath them with a concealer, just using the Revolution one. By the way, the colour in this Revolution concealer is colour 13C, C13. Okay, so now I've put the concealer on, I'm just going to quickly blend this out. People always say to me that I blend so aggressively, but I promise it doesn't hurt me. I just don't know, just seem to blend like this. For foundation, I'm going to use this Huda Beauty one, and I'm going to use Fenty foundation, just mix them. I'm in the shade Nutmeg on the Fenty Beauty, and on I'm in the shade Nutmeg on Huda Beauty, and for Fenty I am in 445. So I first got fillers. These are lip fillers, by the way. I can't remember what year it was, but it was 3 years ago the last time I got it done. So before that it was 2 years ago. Maybe it was like 20, 19, 18.
2 hours later.
So maybe 2017. So I think I first got them in 2017 anyway. I went to a really popular place for fillers. If you follow people that get fillers and things like that, you probably know of them. I'm not gonna say where I went or anything because I don't want to promote and encourage people to do anything like this. I went to a popular like cosmetic company and I wouldn't say they're doctors or anything. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but all I know is that my friend went there and that's how I found out about them, and actually 2 people that I knew went there. But I went to there, and the first time I was happy with my lips. They were the same as my normal lips, just bigger. Like, she didn't really change the shape of them or anything, like she literally just made them bigger than my normal lips. If I have a picture, I will insert it into this video. So yeah, I went there, and I think before I went, I didn't really tell anyone, like not even my family, that I was going. I think I told the person that I was talking to at the time, and they were just like, you know what, if that's what you want to do, then do it, and I did. And then I think like on the day, like I did send like my sister a video, but she wasn't like, I feel like she almost thought that I was like pranking her, but I really wasn't. Like, I really went and got these lips done, and I think I've got like videos after that I will also insert as well. Yeah, so I went there and they were fine. I think my parents, like my mum, didn't even notice that I had them done that time, because they were like natural, and I think that time I had 1 mil, so they looked like almost like natural, like in my lip. I remember the next day, like I was going to like a Stormzy concert, and they were like a bit bruised. I remember being on the train and thinking, oh, these are a bit like bruised, but they looked like natural enough for people not to really notice as much. And then the second time I got them done, I went to a different person who somebody I knew had also been to, and she said, oh, you should try this place, they're like better. So I went to her, and to be fair, she's really good at what she does. And at the time I remember liking the shape of them, but now I sort of look back and I think not really too sure. But yeah, so she did them, and I remember really liking them, and I could tell that she like turned my lips sort of like out a bit more, because my lips are a little bit petite, I would say, and I think that's when people really started to notice that I'd had them done, because they did sort of like look like more prominent, and then so that little bit of like the dark look. I would just say make sure you do your research like wherever you go, and I think do more research than I did into things like if there are complications, so like if your lip could like rupture, I think it is, and like things like that, so you know like worst case scenario what you're going to do, and having like a plan in place. And also research like what product you want to use. So like the second time I wanted to stick with the same product that I had before, but the woman didn't have it available, so I went with a different product that I'd never didn't know anything about, and didn't research. So I think just learn from my mistakes if you do want to get like filler or anything. Luckily for me, I've never had like any complications or anything, and 3 years later this is how my lips look. I've been quite lucky. I've seen a lot of people will feel like migrate at the top of their lip and stuff, so I definitely think just do your research if you want to do it, and make sure it's something that you thought about for a very like long period of time, because I definitely did. Like I used to like watch videos like on YouTube of people like getting it done. I want to talk more into like people's like thoughts and reactions. So I think a lot of people are just a bit like, and I just thought it was like random, because I think back then when I was getting it done, a lot of black people didn't really do things like that. I feel like now loads of black people, not loads, but it's more common, and people were like talking about it on YouTube. But like when I would watch videos, it would just be like people of other cultures. You wouldn't really see anyone that was black that would get fillers, and so yeah, so I just feel like they were just a bit confused. They would just be like, oh, but you're black, like that's so random. But don't make anyone make you feel like your decision isn't logical, or make you feel like embarrassed about it. Like it's nothing to hide. I think that's something that I slowly had to learn. Like I think as long as you're open and honest about anything that you do, and you're like comfortable in like saying, yeah, like I had this done or whatever, and you don't make it like affect you in that sense, then like nobody can tell you any different. Do you get what I mean? So I just say like just like, own it. Like I wouldn't say like go around and like promote it to people or anything, but just like own the fact that that was your choice. Do you get what I mean? And I think people will respect you a lot more as well. So yeah, so as no one really knew, it was awkward because like I think when I got it done the second time, people really started to notice, and that's when my mum would like ask questions, and she'd be like, oh, and she'd be like, oh, like your lips look really like plump or something. And I'd just be, oh yeah, I just overlined them. And I think that's like the stupidest thing you could do. Like, just be honest and just like own it, because realistically, it's you, like it's you. At the end of the day, it's your body. You're the one that has to live in it every day, and that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And as long as you own that, no one can tell you anything different, honestly. And I feel like because I hid it so much, like it was just sort of like weird, like the whole situation I just made it into something weirder than it should have been. Like it just should have just been like a normal sort of thing. And I remember like she'd just be like asking my family members like, oh, like what did she have done, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And I think once you just own up to that, in the end I had to own up to it. I was just like, yeah, I did. And I think once you just like own up to that, like what can anyone exactly say to you, if you get what I mean? Like nothing. And just having that confidence in yourself to just be like, this is my decision, I know that's what I chose. And I remember people would like ask you like, oh, like don't you like love yourself? But it's not about not loving yourself, because I feel like for me, although I don't get to feel it anymore, every single day I do my makeup and I draw over my lips anyway, so it's pretty much the same sort of thing, like, because fillers don't necessarily like hurt or anything, and I think as long as you're going to the right place and researching it and talking to people about their experiences or people that have been there before, just like doing your research, then it obviously is a risk that you are taking, but it's not like to contour I'm gonna use this like Morphe stick thing. I prefer to put it on either the back of my hand first, or put it on the back of a brush first, purely because it doesn't like look as harsh when you put it on. But I just like to use it because it adds more like depth into my foundation. At the minute I'm looking a bit flat after like that concealer and stuff. So yeah, I normally put this on after just to like bring a bit more like, dark tone back in. Also looking at like, the colour of like, my neck and stuff, I have like quite a lot of like pigmentation across my skin, so that everything that sort of like, matches. So I think once I bring this stick in, it sort of like brings everything a bit more in. And to blend it out, I'm going to use this Real Techniques like flat sort of like brush. I'm just using the Laura Mercier powder, and this is the honey one that I've recently picked up. I used to have like the translucent one, but I feel like this is so much better. If you haven't tried it yet, you need to. If I'm going off track or anything, I'm sorry. It is like my first video. I'm just sort of like getting used to even that being on camera. To be fair, that's a lie. It's not my first video, because I used to have, even this channel, it was this channel when I had it before, previously. I think I was like 16 when I had it, and I used to post videos, and I actually did get like a good response from them. I was just so worried like at the time about people like finding out and stuff like that, but now I'm just a bit more like confident like in myself. I wouldn't say that I'm like full of confidence before anybody starts, you know, doing the going off on a tangent. But yeah, I wasn't really that confident in having like a channel and like wanting to like share it with people and things like that. and I just don't think I was ready. So I'm starting again. If I ever, well, if we see how this goes anyway, and things do work out, I'll be sure to share the videos, like just to show you guys that sometimes it's not always the right time, and you can pursue things like later on in life. So everything's just about timing. I'm starting to realise that things don't always work out the way you want them to, because sometimes it's just not the right time. And I don't know, after 2020 I've just been doing a lot of like realisation and trying to like think logically. In terms of powder, by the way, I don't bake or anything. I just prefer to press the powder in and just use as much as I need, because I feel like it works better in that way for me. So I'm also going to use this Fenty powder just to bronze my face a little bit, add a little bit more colour in. It's actually quite dark for me, so I'm going to try to use it with a light hand. So I tried this before, and it's the Lids High Pigment Eyeshadow Cream, and to be honest, I thought it was a bit oily. Like when you rub your finger into it, it's really creamy, but I also feel like it feels quite oily in a sense, and I don't know how I felt about it. But I feel like it's just good for like an every sort of like day thing. I do wish it was a bit more pigmented, because when I put it on, I feel like in the camera you can't really see it that much. But just for like an everyday like thick throw on eyeshadow, it's kind of nice. So I'm really trying to save this eyeshadow, but it's savable. Yes, I wouldn't recommend that. I think I will use it like on a natural moment, but I wouldn't buy it if I knew it was like this. I think maybe for the price it's not bad, but just a bit, it's a little bit disappointing. Like not as bright as you'd want for like a night out, or wherever you're going that you're doing a goldy bronzy eyeshadow. And I also picked up 2 of these eyeliners. So this one is like a brownie one, and this one's a gold one, and they're called Slick Flick waterproof gel eyeliners. Okay, that's better. So I don't actually like it with just mascara, so I'm going to put these lashes on. These are just the Kiss ones. I actually discovered these first like in America with my sister, but you can get them on Amazon, and they come in that big pack of 5, and I think they were like no more than like £6-7. So yeah, all I can think about is that when we come out of like this whole lockdown situation, what if we're in the UK anyway, in the UK we're on lockdown, we have been on lockdown for a very long time, it doesn't feel like anything's changed. All I can think about is just like when we go back to normality and we can actually like go out and like see our friends properly and like actually go on a real night out. It doesn't finish at like 10 PM. Like, can you imagine what's gonna feel like? I also think like what's gonna be the music that's gonna be out then? Like, do you know what I mean? Like what music's gonna be playing like in the club? I feel like by the time that happens I will literally be so old, because right now I'm 23. So I also saw an article saying that we're not gonna come out of lockdown, like see the effects of like coming out of lockdown and going back to like normal life for another 2 years. So I don't feel like actual clubs are gonna be like open for like 2 more like real like actual like real clubs, like real night outs for like 2 years. Like that's actually crazy. I'll be 25, and at that point I probably won't want to like go out anymore. So I feel like part of my not childhood, what's it called, youth, is being stolen from me at the minute. So either we're not gonna have birthdays and I'm still gonna say 23, or we're gonna have to find a way around this because I feel like I should just be out, like, enjoying my life. And I'm not. Like, what? What I want to talk about is actually two things. One thing I want to talk about is Clubhouse. So I've just recently joined it, and wow, it's actually quite powerful. So basically how it works is somebody has to invite you like onto Clubhouse, and when you fill out your profile you put like your interests and stuff and like, what you're interested in, and then it gives you like recommendations of people that you can follow. And I sort of like filtered through mine and chose who I wanted to follow because I didn't want to have like a cluttered feed and not find like the videos that I wanted to see. This camera battery is flashing. Wow, how annoying. And wow, it's actually very powerful. I can take this off now. Just talking about like actual like real life and like how you overcome like issues that you've had in your life. And wow, I think if you can get invited onto it, I think you should. Even if you think that's not going to be something that interests you. But if you listen to podcasts and things like that, which I do, I think you'll really like it. You can talk about things like investments and stuff like that. They do on there as well. But that is also places for people just to like talk openly and freely about their life and like what they're going through. And I think because it's a platform where people can't really see you and you don't have to put an icon, so you can talk sort of like freely without like judgment or like fear and things like that. Not that I've spoken on Clubhouse yet. I'm not that sort of person that just like can speak like so freely to people. So this is the product that I got also. It's called No Filler. I'm going to put it on now. This is my lips before, and then we'll see how it plumps. Oh, this is annoying me. I've been pressing it. Nothing's happening. Frustrating. Literally nothing is coming out. So maybe I don't recommend this lip gloss. It tastes disgusting. I can't explain it, but it reminds me of something that my nan used to give me, like a medicine or something. Oh. I also saw on TikTok actually. Well, do I feel like they've got bigger? You should see that. Or is it in my mind? On TikTok you can actually get, I saw somebody get cinnamon oil and you put it in your lip gloss and it plumps your lips, so you don't really need to buy this. You can just get cinnamon oil and use it with your normal lip gloss if you want like a lip plumping effect. But I do feel like it's plumping a bit. We'll give it a few minutes and then you guys can tell me if you think that it's made a difference. This is the plumpness of the lip gloss.
Oh my god! Wow!
Okay, so this is about the lip gloss. I feel like it plumped it a little bit. Maybe it's in the mind. Who knows? Well, I feel like if you're like a brown skin, like black girl, you always have to use a brown liner, like whatever lip gloss you're going to use or lip product. I'm just going to quickly sharpen it. Using this one from Kiko. It's just a quite dark brown. It's colour 321. And I normally use like Fenty lip glosses and Kiko lip glosses because they're my favourite ones. So I'm hoping these Missguided ones are good. I will say that plumping one was a bit tacky, like quite very tacky, because I know like Fenty ones are quite sticky, but that one I feel like it was a lot more sticky. So as you can see, like I said before, like when I doing my lip gloss or lips, I overline them quite a bit, so I feel like it's the same as getting lip fillers. I want a blue toned pink. It's what I prefer. I wouldn't say it's Fenty Beauty standards. It's got quite a lot of pigment to it, if you can see. Wow, those kids are violating me right now, if you can hear them. Literally shouting. How annoying. I don't know how people do this and manage to find times where they can film where people just aren't talking or you can't hear your neighbours. It's so frustrating. But yeah, that wand is really nice. And then I'm going to put this on sort of like in the middle. And these are quite pigmented to what I'm used to. So normally I do my brown lip with a pink lip gloss. Got like a more sheer one. So I like Fenty, even though it has got colour to it, it's not as like pigmented. So if you really like pigmented lip glosses, do you know what they remind me of? When Kylie first came out with her cosmetic line and she had them like Kylie lip glosses, and it was like literally so cute. That's what they remind me of. But that is the finished sort of lip. It's not bad, I don't hate it. It's just quite pink for me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want me to film anything else, and let me know what you thought. Let me know if you've got any feedback or anything that I could improve on. And yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully speak to you guys in my next one.